About 10 years ago, I was recently divorced and living alone in a one-bedroom apartment. The place was clean and the rent was decent. One of those places that had a doorman. I felt safe here. I was alone and loving it. Focused on my career and not my clingy-ass husband, and things were finally looking up for me. At the time, I was working pretty late at the office and would often stumble into my apartment, sleep deprived in the early hours of the morning, and wake up by 6:30 or 7ish to start my day off. I started noticing that in the morning my door would be unlocked sometimes. I usually just dismissed this as my sleep-dead brain thinking that the bed looked more appealing than locking the door. Another thing that I noticed since moving in was that I seem to misplace things more than I used to. Little things like a hairbrush or nail polish, that sort of thing. It wasn't really that big of a deal, just to be a slight annoyance in my day. The longer I lived there, the more frequently I seemed to forget to lock the door. At first it was every once in a while, and then it seemed like almost a daily occurrence. More things went missing, things like pictures, shaving razors, and most certainly my underwear. This went on for long enough that I started to get a little paranoid. I started to take time at night to make sure the door was locked. I got into the habit of every night after I locked the door, I'd turn the handle 3 times and say to myself, "It's locked. It's locked. It's locked." Time after time, I would wake up and the door would be unlocked. One time I even tried staying up all night to watch the door, but I ended up falling asleep in my chair. It was then I decided that my brain was not reliable enough to stay up all night, so I invested in a video camera. And I went all out. I bought the fanciest camera that I could get my hands on. So, one night, I set the camera up facing the door, I hid the camera under a pile of towels on the floor. I locked the door and went to bed. When I woke up, my apartment looked normal, nothing missing that I could see. I decided to check the tape, and I fast forwarded through the hours of footage. Not saying anything, I was just about to give up, and then I noticed... That was when I noticed the handle of my door jitter. Then it slowly crept open. A figure slid in through a half-open door and walked towards the camera. It paused, looked around as if it was listening for something, then walked forward into a direct view of the camera. I paused the camera. The hairs on my arms and my back of my neck started to rise. I was staring directly into the face of the maintenance man of the building. I could see those big, thick glasses and curly hair. I had no doubt who it was. I played the tape a little more. He looked comfortable as he walked around the apartment. Then he turned around and walked towards my bedroom and out of the camera's view. I didn't know what to do. Sobbing, I called the police. I tried to explain over the phone, but I just couldn't. Pretty soon, 2 officers arrived at my doorstep. I told them everything and showed them the tape. I remember seeing the blood drain from their faces, and they reassured me that I was safe and that they were going to get this guy. I needed to lay down, but I didn't want to be alone. So, one of the officers offered to stay outside my apartment door as I took a nap. But as I was laying in bed, unable to sleep, but too drained to move, something kept nagging me. I lay there for a few minutes, tossing and turning, unable to get comfortable or rest, and my mind was racing. And then a sudden realization slowly washed over me and chilled me to the fucking bone. We watched the tape and saw the man enter my home, but we never saw him leave. I froze and I started thinking. I started shaking. I needed to get to the front door. I sat up and looked around the room, and I couldn't see anyone. I swung my legs over to the side of the bed cautiously, and as my feet hit the cold wood floor. I felt a warm breath on my ankles. I raced out of my apartment as fast as I could to the city police officer. He didn't call for backup, and they found the man under my bed, clutching a knife and a Polaroid camera. And to this day, I cannot sleep alone.